Today I'm going to explain investigation, science, and crime. Investigation. Investigation is the process of gathering information. Ginagawa ito upang malaman ang motives, kaya naman methods ng isang kriminal. At saka malesen na mangyari ulit ang crime na yon. Sa pag-investigate, kailangan natin ng science. Example na lang nito ay ang fingerprint. Sa fingerprint, kailangan natin ng certain material upang ma-develop ang isang fingerprint. Mga material na ito ay nagawa sa tulong ng science. Crime. Crime ito yung nagagawa ng isang kriminal na labag sa ating batas. Upang masolve ito, kailangan natin ng investigation at sa tulong ng science. Yun lang, ma'am.
So, good morning, ma'am. So, first, what is crime? A little definition of crime is the violation of criminal laws. So, paano natin malalaman kung sino ang gumawa ng krimen na yun? Siyempre, sa pamamagitan ng pag-iimbestiga. Makakatulong ang investigation para mapatunayan natin kung sino ang guilty party. So, paano nga ba mag-imbestiga? Ang trabaho ng criminal investigator is to discover whether or not an offense has been committed under the law. He must discover the 5W and 1H. Sa investigation, nakakatulong ang science para mapatunayan natin kung sino ang guilty sa krimen na yon. Halimbawa na lang yung fingerprint, DNA, at blood. Magagamit natin itong ebidensya para mapatunayan at mapagbayaran niya ang kanya nagawang kasalanan sa batas. Yun lang po.
Hello classmates, ma'am, classmates, sir. I'm here to explain what is crime, investigation, and science. So, unahin natin ang crime. Crime is an act or mission that is punishable by law. So, ito yung mga illegal na gawain ng mga tao na kinahahantong sa kulungan. Mga example ng crime is rape, robbery, mga yan, specialist crimes, and anything that is against the law. Kapag gumawa ka ng crime naman, nandiyan na ang investigation. Investigation, dito nagagather ng facts, statements. Ito, importante ang investigation para malaman kung sino o kung anong krimen yung ginawa. Paano mo malalaman kung ano yung krimen na ginawa or kung sino? Gagamit ka ng science. Science proves everything, not necessarily. For example, sa crime scene, may blood stain. Kailangan mong isolve yun. Kailangan mong kunin yung blood. Tapos, ilalagay mo sa DNA testing to know who is responsible for the crime committed. That's it. Thank you.
Good morning. May tatlong salita na ating pagtutuunan ng aral ngayong araw na ito. Ito ang investigation, science, and crime. Ang tatlong ito ay magkakakonekta sa isa't isa. Una nating gagawin ay yung proseso ng krimen, pupunta sa investigation, pupunta sa science. Ang krimen ay mga maling gawain ng mga tao dahil sa stress sila or nakatake sila ng drugs. Ang mga example nito ay yung murder, rape, corruption, ganun, etc. Tas yung investigation ay papasok sa crime. Dahil ang investigation ay kukuha ng mga impormasyon ukol sa nangyaring krimen. Ay yung proseso ng investigation ay ito na ang matatawag na science.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So I make this video to explain what is investigation, science, and crime. So first is investigation. According to dictionary.com, investigation is expressing the idea of an active efforts to find out something. It is systematic, minute, and thorough attempt to learn the facts about something complex or hidden. So your investigation is kadalasang ginagamit sa krimen to find out kung sino yung committed sa crime or paano na-commit yung crime. So, second is science. So, science is systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiments. So, science is, ito ay pag-aaral sa mga bagay-bagay sa kalikasan, sa kalusugan, at sa buhay ng isang tao. Ito rin nila ginagawa yung pag-eksperimento at pag-obserba ng mga bagay-bagay. As is crime. So, crime is an action or omission in violation of criminal law committed without defense or justification and sanctioned by the states as a felony or misdemeanor. So, ito naman is yung violation of the law kung saan ang isang tao ay nakagawa ng krimen o kaya nakalabag ng isang batas.
I am here today to discuss about three things that are connected into our subject. That is investigation, crime, and science. So what is investigation? Investigation helps us to find something hidden or uncover some things that may help us in investigating a crime. So what is crime? Crime is an action or an omission that constitutes to an offense will be prosecuted by the state and is punishable by law, like murder, stealing, or anything else that may harm people, nature, and even animals. So what is science? Science is a pursuit of knowledge and understanding the world around us by using systematic methodology based on evidence. Thank you.
So, investigation. When we say investigation, it is the process of collecting information to a certain event, collecting evidences to know the truth or to reveal the fact. So, ito yung masusing paraan sa pagkukolekta ng informasyon at evidences para malaman yung katotohanan. Then, science, the collective discipline of study or learning and understanding the truth. So, when we say crime naman, a specific act committed in violation of the law, a wrongful doing which is against the law or punishable by law. So, crime, these are the criminal acts which is forbidden by the law. So, meron ngayong isang philosopher yung sabi niya is, there is no crime if there is no law punishing it. Yun lang po.
Good morning. Today I'm going to explain the three words science, investigation, and crime. Science and investigation. Since they are both a systematic process, this gives us an idea that investigation is a form of science. And in investigation, we tend to prove something that is sensible and reasonable. In relation to crime, since crime ay mga maling ginagawa ng tao that is punishable and prohibited by law, we need investigation to be conducted for us to solve a crime. For example, in a murder case, investigation tends to find evidences like murder weapon, the witnesses that has seen the crime itself during that time, CCTV cameras. Investigation collects them all in order for us to prove that the crime has been committed.
Okay, good morning ma'am, good morning classmate. Our topic for today is all about investigation, science, and crime. First, investigation. Ito yung pagkakalap mo pa ng isang magandang kasagutan upang maging mas malinaw pa sa iyo kung ano nga ba ang nangyayari at nangyayari na. Second is science. Ito yung pag-experiment mo sa kung ano nga ba ang maganda at hindi magandang naidudulot ng natural phenomena. Last is crime. Crime is an unlawful act that punishable by the state, sabi nga nila. Kumbaga, ito yung paggawa mo ng hindi maganda sa batas ng isang bansa.
Investigation. Investigation is searching for something or someone that you need an answer. For example, nag-investigate ka ng isang case at kailangan mong i-resolve yung case na yon. Second one is science. Science is knowledge or understanding about natural and social world. Crime. Crime is an act or this is punishable by the law.
So, good day ma'am. First task is to explain investigation, science, and crime. So, first is investigation. Investigation. Ito ay isang masusing pag-aaral upang malaman ang katotohanan tungkol sa isang bagay na lihim na naganap at nakatago. So, next is science. Science ay ang praktikal na aktibidad na sumasaklaw sa sistematikong pag-aaral ng struktura at pag-uugali ng physical at natural na mundo sa pamamagitan ng pagmamasid at pag-eksperimento. So, last is crime. An act or mission that constitutes an offense that may be prosecuted by the state and punishable by law. So, ang isang krimen ay pagkakasala. So, pag nagkasala, may kaakibat na parusa. Parusa maaari sa pamamagitan ng multa o pagkabilanggo.
So, good morning everyone. Today I will explain what I only know about investigate science and crime. Number one is investigate. Investigate is when we started to research or look for something or someone to find out the truth. Science plays a very important role in our world, in our life. Why? Because it can explain such activities or fields in order for us to enlighten or give us more ideas about a specific thing. And lastly, crime. We all know that crime is the wrongdoing acts of people na sila yung nakakabangga ng mga batas, na yung batas na yon is nagpoprotekta sa isang community in order na maging stable yung peace and order. Kaya nagkakaroon ng crime is hindi nasusunod yung batas na pinapatupad ng ating mga pamahalaan.
Good day everyone. I am here to discuss my answers in Activity 1. But since there is no particular question given to us by our teacher, I will explain the relationship of the words crime, investigation, and science, and its process and purpose to our subject, the Specialized Crime Investigation 2. Number 1 is the crime. Crime will be the superstar of our subject. It is also the problem. Kumbaga, sa paggawa ng research, ng thesis and dissertations, it will be the specific and the general problem, wherein it will resolve through different techniques and processes. Maraming process yan, mabusisi ang gagawin. And then, kung wala namang crime na nangyari, hindi rin naman natin magagamit ang specialized crime investigation. Number 2 is science. Science contains different scientific methods and processes. And that will be the scientific techniques wherein we will use that to resolve the problem, which is the crime. Yung iba na pag-aralan na natin at mapag-aaralan pa lamang. For example, the forensic photography, ballistics, QD, polygraphy, and so on and so forth. Number 3, the investigation. Hindi mo siya kasama sa specialized techniques na nasabi ko kanina sa aking unang sagot, but it will be helpful also to resolve the problem in the crime. It will gather all the informations, the data of a certain place, a certain person, or things. And that's my answer to the Activity 1. Thank you and God bless us all.
So good morning ma'am, I am Shaira Garcia from 3B and I'm here to explain the investigation, science, and crime. So the first one is investigation. Investigation takes place when crime occurs. For example, is murder. So it needs to investigate to get the truth who killed, and also they gathered information and search for facts. So the second one is science. Science is used to study the different types of investigation techniques. So science is used to investigate things that are not simply seen, such as footprint and fingerprint, and etc. So the third one is crime. Crime occurs because of corruption as well. So people are able to kill and steal because of their hunger, and due to lack of money they are able to do it, or maybe because they just want their family to survive. That's all.
Good day, ma'am. I'm going to explain the three given topic, which is the investigation, crime, and science. First is the word crime. Crime is an act or omission punishable by law. Pumapasok lamang ang crime kapag ang victim ay nakararanas ng pang-aabuso, pananakit, discrimination tulad ng mga Black American ngayon, also pamamaslang. Pumapasok din naman ang word na investigation, for example sa crime scene. They investigate the crime scene. They investigate the objects inside the crime scene. Tulad ng mga kutsilyo, cloth na mga naiwan. And dito na rin pumapasok yung science na kung saan they investigate the saliva or blood and also the fingerprint na naiwan doon sa crime scene. Doon pumapasok yung DNA.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So today, I will discuss crime, investigation, and science. So, ano ba yung crime? Crime, it is a wrongful act. or isang malaling gawain ng isang tao. There are many examples of crime such as rape, murder, robbery, and corruption. Example, kung may crime, dito na papasok ang salitang investigation. When we are conducting investigation, maraming proseso ang gagawin. At dito na pumapasok ang salitang science. Example, murder. In the crime scene, when we are collecting evidences, we need science to preserve that evidence. And also, science help us to solve crimes, studying the body of the victim, like autopsy, and to pinpoint the cause and time of death. Also, I can say that these two are very important tool in the crime scene and to solve the case. Thank you.
Arnel Gimontivalco, BS Screen 3B, and I'm going to explain. So first, we have to explain what is investigation. When we say investigation, it is a thorough search of facts, especially those that are hidden or need to be sorted out in a complex situation. So it says here that the main goal or the usual goal of investigation is to determine how and why a crime or a thing is happened. So when we say science, it is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior. Science can also help in solving or investigation of crimes. Example of these are the forensics science. And lastly is crime. So when we say crime, it is an action or omission that constitutes an offense that may be prosecuted by the state and is punishable by the law. So it is also illegal activities. So example of these illegal activities or this what they call crime are robbery, shoplifting, kidnapping, and murders, and many others. Thank you, ma'am. God bless and stay safe po lagi.
Hello, so for today, I will talk about crime investigation and science. Why there is crime? Because some people consider crime makes life easier, but there are some factors we have to consider why people commit crime. These are the biological, economic, social, and psychological factors. There is crime because there is law punishing it. Next one, when there is crime, we have to investigate. And investigation is when we collect, you acquire, you solicit vital or important details or facts in order to establish the truth. And when we investigate, you have to have the evidence and we need the science. Science is a branch of knowledge that deals with the truth systematically arranged. Dito mo mapapatunayan na yung ebidensya mo is totoo and para mapatunayan mo na guilty yung offended party. Yun lang po, and thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm going to discuss today the three terms that was given to us, which are crimes, investigation, and science. First one, crime. In Tagalog ay krimen. So ang crime po ay ang paglabag sa batas na pinanukala ng gobyerno. Ang isang halimbawa ng krimen ay ang pagpatay ng tao. So kung nag-exist na po ang crime or krimen, papasok dyan ang investigation. So sa pag-iimbestiga po ay ito ay yung pangangalap ng datos. Pangangalap ng datos para malaman kung ano yung nasa likod ng krimen na naganap, kung sino ang gumawa at kung paano niya ito sinagawa. Sa pangangalap po ng datos ay marami po itong proseso, tulad ng pagsisiyasat sa mga taong nakakita at kung ano pa. So next one naman po ay science. Sa science po, kung hindi natin kakilala yung suspect, pwede po natin gamitan siya ng tinatawag nilang forensic dactyloscopy o pag-aaral sa fingerprint ng suspect. Sa pamamagitan nito ay matritrace natin kung sino yung suspect. Yun po ang aking pagkakaunawa. Thank you po.
Good morning, ma'am. Today, I will explain first what is investigation. Investigation is to explore in detail the allegations, to examine the evidence in depth, and to determine specifically whether academic research misconduct has been committed. It is important to know exactly and truthfully what happened in order to reduce risk of happening again. And the second one is what is science. Science makes life easier for humans everywhere on the planet. Without science, we would not have medications, electricity, automobiles, and almost everything we use in our lives. And the last one is crime. Crime is an act done by a person which is against the country or region. Crime usually by way of fine or imprisonment. It depends on the crime that has been committed. Thank you.
Hello ma'am, first i-define ko muna yung crime, investigation, saka science. So what is crime? Crime is an act punishable by law forbidding or commanding it. Investigation. Investigation is to search for truthful information, while science is a branch of knowledge with a body of truth or facts. So, kapag pinagsama-sama mo itong tatlong to, makakasolve tayo ng crime. Pagdating ng mga officers sa crime scene, magsasagawa sila ng investigation. At dito sila mag-i-investigate ng mga evidence. Dahil pag may crime na nakomit ang isang kriminal, meron itong maiiwan na evidence sa crime scene. Example of this evidence is his or her fingerprint. At para malaman ng officer kung sino ang kriminal, i-examine ito sa laboratory at dito papasok ang science.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Today, I will explain the three words, namely investigation, science, and crime. We all know that there is a crime if the three elements of crime are present: the intent, ability, and opportunity. In solving a crime, the two factors should be present: the investigation and the science. These two factors has a major role in solving a crime. Why? Because you cannot solve a crime if you cannot investigate. While having investigation, dito na rin pumapasok ang science. From the material used in the investigation, these are the products of science. For example, camera. Camera is one of a kind of technology, and this is a very useful, especially in recording evidences. How do they connected to each other? If there is a crime, you need to investigate. When you investigate, you need to record the gathered information and evidences with the use of technology. And technology is connected to science. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning. So in this video, we will tackle all about crime, investigation, and science. And of course, the correlation of each other. So, crime, in the simplest term, is the action or behavior that is against and punishable by law. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na may crime if there is no thorough attempt to learn the fact about something complex or hidden. At dun pumapasok ang ating investigation. Because investigation is a formal and systematic examination or research. It is formal and systematic. So it means hindi natin pwedeng pagganahin ang ating intuition or instinct sa investigation. It is systematic, that's why it needs science. Because criminal investigation includes examination, interrogation, interview, collecting of evidence, and preserving of evidence. And that all falls in science. Kailangan natin ng science doon to prove the accuracy of our research. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello ma'am, Justin Ramen Capistrano, 3rd year, section B. May tatlo akong salita na bibigyang kahulugan at papaliwanag. At ang una ay crime. Crime ay isang masamang gawa na may kaakibat na parusa. At ang mga example ng crimes ay murder, fraud, illegal smuggling, human trafficking, at iba pa. At may kukonek natin ang crime investigation at science. For example, sa isang krimen na murder, magkakandak tayo ng investigation at i-connect na natin ng science sa pamamagitan ng fingerprint. malalaman natin kung sino ang may sala at paano niya nagawa ang isang krimen na iyon.
Hello, Hans Carino, and I'm about to explain what is crime, investigation, and science. Crime. Crime can be an act or omission. But why do crime exist? Well, because of the principle of logomacy that states that there is no crime if there is no law punishing it. But why do people commit crimes? There are factors such as poverty, free will, or rational choice, and some suggest it is in their nature. If there is a crime, there will be an investigation, and in investigation, there is science. Criminal investigation is an applied science that involves the study of facts, and therefore we will use the we will apply the scientific method, forming a stating the problem, forming a hypothesis, collecting the data by observing and experimenting, interpreting the data, and lastly, the conclusion. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning. I am here to explain about investigation, science, and crime. So first, crime. So bakit nga ba nakakagawa ang isang tao ng krimen? Nakakagawa ito dahil maaring sila ay galit sa kasakiman, sa selos, sa paghihiganti, or sa pride. Next is investigation. Kailangan natin ng investigation kasi i-explore natin yung bawat detalye ng paratang at examine natin kung gaano ba kalalim yung ebidensya or katibay yung ebidensya para ma-determine natin kung may mali ba sa nakandak na investigation. At dito na pumapasok ang scientific investigation. Sa scientific investigation, dito yung naplano mong question or yung mga na-tested na answer.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. Today, I explain about crime, science, investigation. The first one is crime. Sa madaling salita, krimen o paggawa ng mali na labag sa batas. Kaya pag may nangyaring krimen, dito na pumapasok ang investigasyon at science. Example is yung rape. Para malutas ang kasong ito, kailangan natin ng masusing investigasyon at science. Sa investigasyon, may proseso tayong sinusunod, tulad ng pagkokolekta ng ebidensya. Kailangan din natin ng science upang ma-examine ang ebidensya na nakalap sa tulong ng science. Nakakatulong ito para mas mapadali ang investigasyon at ma-solve na ang problema sa example na rape.
Crime, and science. How are these three actually correlates with one another? First, crime kasi nag-start lahat sa commission of crime. Ano nga ba ang crime? This is simply wrongdoings that are against or prohibited by the criminal law. Bakit nga ba nagkukumit ang tao ng crime or krimen? There are simple answers like poverty, peer pressure, mental deficiency, nakainom, or naka-drugs. But surprisingly, there are more complicated answers, theories about crime. One prime example is our facial structure. Likely, after the commission of crime, there is investigation. Investigation actually needs science, more specifically forensic science, which deals with criminals and civil laws. Ano ba itutulong ng forensic science and investigation? Nakatulong ang science to identify footmarks, blood stains, shoe marks, palm prints, fingerprints, helps to identify the offender. We can also use blood analysis, semen analysis, DNA profiling para malaman kung sino ba talaga ang offender and also malaman kung sino yung victim. Investigation is important para ma-resolve ang isang kaso sa korte. So, it has to be remembered na hindi pwede ang hearsay or sabi lang ni ano, ganito, ganyan. Hindi pwede. In conclusion, crimes are solved through investigation. Investigation needs science. That's all.
Good day, classmates and classmates. So today I will explain to you the relationship of these three words. First, investigation. Second is science. And then third is crime. Pero magsisimula tayo sa crime. Bibigyan ako ng isang example ng crime katulad na lang ng rape. Ang rape kasi against siya ng law ng bansa. Bakit? Sino bang may gusto na mag-rape? Hindi ba? Ngayon, papasok dito ang investigation para malaman kung bakit na-commit yung crime. Kung bakit nagkaroon ng crime, kung bakit nangyari yung rape. Ngayon, kukulit natin yung evidences na magtuturo sa taong gumawa nito sa biktima. And then, pagkatapos ng mga pangangalap ng investigador sa mga ebidensyang ito laban sa offended party, papasok si science para mas maproseso pa o yung malalim na pagsisiyasat sa ebidensya para ma-confirm ng mabuti kung sino yung offended party. And then, thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm here to discuss about the term investigation, crime, and science. The term investigation comes from the Latin word vestigere, which means to track, to trace, to probe, to observe or study closely, to inquire for something systematically, and to search for truthful information. Crime is defined as an act or omission punishable by law forbidding and commanding it. And science is defined as a means of gaining information which involves explanation, reasoning, and evidence. Now, the question is, how does investigation, crime, and science are interconnected? When there is crime, here comes the authorities to investigate. So when we investigate, we are searching, collecting, and gathering information. And while we are investigating, dito na pumapasok ang mga tanong na ano, paano, at bakit ito nangyari. At dito na rin pumapasok si science. So with the help of science, it can allow the authorities to do everything from positively identify the suspect in a crime, determine exactly when and how the crime occurred, and with the help of science, things in the crime can explain. Thank you.
Crime is simply the violation of law. Sa pinakasimpleng jaywalking to murder, that is already a crime. Kapag may nalabag kang batas, that's already a crime. So, napaka-importante na malaman natin kung ano yung batas to avoid doing crimes. Next is science. Science simply means to know. It is also the facts or knowledge that are gained by systematic study. An example of science is investigation. Why? Because they are very similar, especially sa part wherein investigation also uses systematic procedures to gather truthful information. So, kapag nagkaroon ng krimen, of course, the law enforcement pillar will conduct investigation, which is also a science to prove or to know what is behind the crime.
Napakahalaga yung investigation dahil napapalawak na yung kaalaman natin sa mga bagay-bagay na complex. For example, investigating a crime which is the robbery with homicide na hindi ka nais-nais na gawain ng mga tao. Gumagawa ang mga tao ng crime dahil sa mga abnormal behavior nila. At na-discover mo dun sa crime na nanlaban yung victim sa suspect at yung suspect natamahan at may naiwan siyang dugo. At dun na pumapasok yung science sa investigation because science is important investigation because it helps the evidence to be preserved and it helps the investigation to be more accurate. Concrete example of science in investigation is the DNA analysis, which helps the investigator to identify the suspects.
So good day everyone, I'm here to explain what is crime, investigation, and science. So first, what is crime? Lahat naman tayo is may alam tungkol sa krimen. And ang krimen is may iba't ibang uri. Like pagpatay, pag-rape, pagsunog ng properties at iba pa. So, kailangan ng investigation sa crime kasi kailangan malaman kung sino ang gumawa nito, kung paano niya ginawa, at kung sino-sino ang mga nadamay sa crime na yun. Then, kailangan din ng science kasi sa investigation, yung investigator is dapat knowledgeable siya and kailangan ng scientist doon. Kasi sila yung isa pa sa tumutulong sa investigation like kunwari sa pag-autopsy ng katawan, sa pag-test ng mga dugo, and
the three keywords: investigation, science, and crime. Everyone can commit a crime because we are living in a democratic country and so we are free to exercise our right of freedom legally or illegally. Ang paggawa ng mga illegal na bagay ay nangulugang krimen. So So, how do we solve crime? That's when the authority do the investigation. Ang pagsisiyasat ay isang agham ng pagkakaroon ng kaalaman upang malutas ang ilang problema. Sa isang pagsisiyasat, ilang hakbang ang susundin. Kinakailangan na magsiyasat upang mabigyan ang mga biktima ng katarungang nararapat. Bukod dito, sa isang pagsisiyasat, ginagamit ang agham upang makamit ang makatuwirang paghuhusga at mga desisyon sa pamamagitan ng paggawa ng ilang proseso. In short, there is a science in an investigation because there are crimes in the society.
Morning, ma'am. Investigation is a systematic, minute, and thorough attempt to learn the facts about something complex or hidden. So, investigation po ay ito po yung mga kadalasang ginagawa ng pulis para malaman po yung cause ng isang crime at para malutas po ang isang kaso sa pamamagitan ng research. And ang susunod po ay ang science. Science is the pursuit and application of knowledge and understanding of the natural and social world following a systematic methodology based on evidence. And ang last is crime. So, crime refers to the act committed or omitted in violation of public laws forbidding or commanding it. So, there are three classifications of crime. These are felonies, misdemeanors, and offenses. Felonies, those are in violation of revised penal code. Offenses, those in violation of statutes, and misdemeanors, those are in violation of ordinances.
Good afternoon. I'm going to explain crime, investigation, and science. First, crime. Crime is ito yung mga gawain ng mga tao against humanity. Example is murder, torture, rape. Pag may isang nangyaring krimen, example is murder. In crime scene, papasok na si investigation. They conduct investigation, collecting of evidence, documentation, and others. After that, they do tagging, logging, and packaging. To avoid contamination, they pack properly. After that, they go to the crime lab and process all the evidence. Sa process na yon, papasok na si science. So ang tawag sa crime lab ang tawag sa process sa crime lab is forensic science. So si forensic science is siya ang they examine the physical evidence that they collect. Thank you.
Hi, I am here to explain science, crime, and investigation. So this question come up into my mind that why there is an investigation when there is a crime committed, what are the possible crimes, and how science can help to solve the particular problem. So there is an investigation when there is a crime committed, for them to collect data and evidence to be evaluated that may lead to the identification and the prosecution of the criminal. Murder is one of the crimes that has a very crucial investigation, that needs a very crucial investigation, and by the help of science and those evidences like blood can be evaluated for the purpose of identifying the criminal. DNA is an evidence. This needs a scientific method by means you can identify the possible culprit. So this come up into my mind that criminal investigation as science, an applied science that can help to identify, discover, and collect data or evidences to promote justice. Thank you.
So today, ma'am, itatry kong i-explain kung bakit may science, investigation, and crime. So, nag-exist yung investigation kasi may crime. Crime is a wrongful doing that is punishable by the law. So, magbibigay ako ng examples ng mga crime, murder, robbery, and rape. So, may investigation kasi tumutulong ito sa pagbibigay ng ebidensya o paghahanap ng mga ebidensya upang makatulong upang masolve ang case o ma-prove ang guilt ng isang akusado. So, ano yung tulong ng science sa investigation and crime? Yung science, tumutulong ito sa paghahanap ng mga deep evidence. Katulad sa mga autopsy, yung mga sugat ng isang biktima at kung paano ito namatay. So, yan yung mga connection ng tatlo. Nag-exist yung investigation and science para ma-solve ang isang crime. Thank you.
I can explain investigation by using 3 words. First, research, second, inquiry, and lastly, interviews. This tree has a large contribution on conducting investigation. Without this tree, you cannot formulate an investigation. Why do we need to investigate? In related to criminal investigation, we have to conduct interrogations, interviews, collecting of evidences, and etc. Also, a background check of a person if you know what kind of person he is. While science naman is something related also in criminal investigation because we tend to create theoretical explanation about certain things na nag-exist sa crime scene. Mahalaga ng science dahil dito nagkakaroon tayo ng built and strong explanation in scientifically way pagharap natin sa court. Well, crime exists naman when there is an offended party. Third thing, crime exists many centuries ago, hindi siya ngayon lang. And it happens phenomenal. Nobody can stop it. No countries has 0% crime rate at all. Nolom krimen nola piona sinilege.
Good morning, ma'am. Nandito po ako para ipaliwanag kung ano ang gamit ng science at investigation sa crime. So, crime is an illegal act, tulad ng murder. So, example, pag may murder na nangyari, ang unang gagawin ng pulis ay maghahanap ng impormasyon, magtanong-tanong at mag-collect ng mga bagay na related sa crime. And that is investigation. So, after nag-collect ng mga pulis ng mga evidence, they will put it to the crime lab and the forensic scientist will analyze it and interpret it gaya ng dugo, baril at fingerprint para malaman nila kung related ba ito sa suspect at para na rin maresolba ang crime. So by the help or application of science in crime laboratory, magkakaroon sila ng mas matibay na ebidensya.
Good morning. So for today, I'm going to explain crime, investigation, and science. So first, crime. Crime, ito yung maling gawain ng tao na hindi ka nais-nais or yung tinatawag nating illegal behavior. Napakaraming klase ng crime. Isa na rito ang corruption, rape, robbery. Those are just some examples of crime. Now, pag may nangyaring crime, dito na rin pumapasok yung tinatawag nating investigation and science. These two were interconnected to one another dahil nga may tinatawag tayong art of investigation. And art is science. So, paano to? Example, on a robbery case, when we are conducting investigation, there is a process that we need to follow. And that process is already science. Another one, when we are collecting evidences, we need science to preserve these evidences. When we examine evidences comes from CCTVs, and CCTVs are made because of the use of or because of the help of science. That is again the connection of those two words. Now, I can say that these two words were very important tool in knowing the truth and reconstructing the crime scene, and most importantly, in solving the case. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. I am here to explain what is crime, what is investigation, and what is science, and how are they connected to each other. So first, sa crime tayo. So sa crime, may tatlong classifications ito. At yun ay felony, offense, and misdemeanor. And crime are needed to be proved. So dito nga ipapasok yung investigation na nagde-determine kung anong crime ang nakomit. At nagde-determine kung sino ang perpetrator. Naglo-locate ng perpetrator and nagpro-provide ng mga evidence for his or her guilt. And after that, papasok dito yung science na nagpo-prove na yung evidence na nag-gather sa investigation ay magsusupport pa ng mas malaking bagay para ma-prove na yung perpetrator ay guilty talaga.
Thank you for being here today. I'm Meljan Rey Pascua. I'm going to talk about investigation, science, and crime. Investigation is a systematic study or examination to develop explanations. It is a progression of activities from gathering of evidences that helps answer questions and solve problems, to information analysis, to validation, to forming reasonable ground to believe, and finally, to arrest and charge a suspect to promote justice. Science plays a vital role in investigation because investigations applies scientific method and scientific knowledge. Science is to use find facts easier and it is an essential resource for the law. Investigation and science is very useful to solve a crime. Crime is a deliberate and harmful act against the law. Such acts are forbidden and punishable by the law. Thank you.
Science, crime, and investigation. So crime is simply defined as the violation of law. So from murder down to jaywalking is already a crime. Now, if the crime was committed, here comes the investigation. And the purpose of investigation is to prove that someone really did commit a crime. Through gathering facts, evidences, and other information. Those facts and evidences are considered science because science is defined as a systematized body of knowledge of the structure and behavior of natural and physical world through experimentation and observation. For example, those evidences are fingerprints or some records. Those are discovered through science, through experiment, through discovery. So, my conclusion is that investigation and science are intertwined with each other and they can't be separated. That's